Breaking news first at 11 o'clock. It is the bombshell that's rattling Washington, the country, and bringing reaction from a top Kentucky congressman here for you tonight. Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us on the 15-minute edition of the WHAS11 Night Team. I'm Doug Proffitt. Republican Congresswoman Zachary Taylor Green of Georgia is resigning from Congress in January. Her allegiance to President Donald Trump has soured. Green making her announcement in this 10-minute video, some of it you're going to see tonight, referencing her support of releasing the Epstein files.
Standing up for American women who were raped at 14 years old, trafficked and used by rich, powerful men should not result in me being called a traitor and threatened by the President of the United States, whom I fought for.
Just some of the video tonight. Green, a once loyal MAGA supporter, recently engaged in a public fallout with President Trump after she criticized him openly in his stance on the Epstein files, among other key issues. She said she would not endure a hateful primary in Georgia led by Donald Trump. And then brand new out tonight, Kentucky GOP Representative Thomas Massie with this statement saying, quote, she embodies what a true representative should be. Massie saying everyone should read her statement. There's more honesty expressed in these 4 pages than most politicians will speak in a lifetime, end quote from Thomas Massie.
They're supposed to notify, they're notifying their staff. And of course, nothing is final until the board votes on it.
Now to the stunning news locally. News since 6. We've also learned the JCPS will now consider changing dismissal times again. Superintendent Brian Yearwood wants to move the start times and dismissal times up by 20 minutes earlier, a change he'll have to propose to the board coming up on Tuesday, December 9th. Also at that very big meeting, the potential vote to close and sell off some schools. Others would be consolidated, like 2 West Louisville elementary schools. New tonight, WHAS 11 Night Team's Jose Alonso and photojournalist Gabrielle DeGeorge tell us how a father doesn't want his kids to leave the same school that he grew up in.
Don't play with this school. Leave these kids alone.
The drive-through student pickup line at this West Louisville school could soon be no more.
Some kids going home crying with the moms and parents out in the car right of line crying and stuff. Yeah, it's hard.
Michael D. Thomas Sr., a father of 2 students in this photo who attend Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary School, is disappointed to hear how JCPS plans to curb their $188 million budget deficit.
Our district submitted a proposal to the Jefferson County Board of Education to consolidate, close, and relocate some of our schools.
JCPS recommends consolidating King Elementary in the Shawnee neighborhood to Maupin Elementary in the Parkland neighborhood. The school district says it has a more cost-effective facility and has a lower cost per student. JCPS says King Elementary is at 70% capacity and the average cost per student is more than $10,000 above average.
At the same time, Maupin Elementary is at 53% enrollment.
Other family members in line to pick up their student at King Elementary didn't know about the proposed changes, but it made them concerned.
I think it impacts a lot of people that come here, especially like the kids that can't afford to go to a different school other than this one.
Since 1969, this campus has been a garden of dreams for Louisvillians like Thomas Sr.
We're not playing with y'all. We don't want y'all to close this school down because of your so-called money situation. This school deserves better.
The passion of this elementary school plans to make their voice heard in upcoming forums. In West Louisville, Jose Alonso, WHAS 11 Night Team on your side.
Now to the schools that are going to be closed or sold, and both. We are talking also about Zachary Taylor Elementary School tonight. I talked with Louisville commercial real estate broker Tommy Clark today. He said he's actually had calls already since the news broke from buyers interested in the Zachary Taylor property in the East End. But there's a big catch. The property right now is zoned for residential. There would have to be a zoning change to make it commercial. Clark says if the Zachary Taylor property sold today at Westport Road and Hurstbourne Parkway for a residential development, it could sell for over $4.2 million with a per acre price tag of $425,000. If it's sold as commercial, Clark says it could go for well over $5 million. Now, another broker told our education expert, Sam Corbett, much higher, $10 to $11 million.
That piece of dirt that Zachary Taylor sits on, which is a little more than 11 acres, is potentially worth $10 to $11 million, just the land.
Okay.
So the question is, did that factor into the decision to close Zachary Taylor? Yes. It's an older building, their attendance is down,
Right.
but they're also sitting on a pretty big asset that they could sell.
Now to more local news on the night team happening tonight. A man is now dead after being shot in the face. It happened just after 8 o'clock tonight at a home on Cedar Street and South 27th Street in the Russell neighborhood. When LMPD got there, they found a man suffering from a gunshot wound to his face. He died at the scene. Police say they believe they have the suspect detained. Former U of L basketball star Russ Smith is now pleading guilty to improper driving. His DUI charges were dropped in Louisville yesterday. According to his arrest citation, a detective saw Smith driving his Maserati at the intersection of Baxter Avenue and Highlands Avenue. Police say it had an expired plate and Smith made an illegal U-turn. The detective pulled the car over and said they smelled a strong odor of alcohol on Smith's breath. The citation says Smith admitted to having 2 drinks before driving and then took a DUI test before being taken into custody. In a statement, Russ Smith today posting on X, he says in part, "Extremely thankful, but I lost friends, partnerships, and a whole summer of life doing what I love nationally and locally for my community," end quote. You can read his entire statement on our website. We have it posted there, and he now will pay a fine. Brand new since 6, a long-standing theater in the Smoketown neighborhood of Louisville is once again welcoming performances. The old Broadway Theater sits right between Shelby and Logan Streets. WHAS11 night team's Clarice Shaley talks to a group who pulled together the very first performance in decades, hoping to bring new life to East Broadway.
Inside a theater, long silent. On its dark balcony, Old Broadway Theater is once again filled with music.
Pretty magical. Definitely lights the place up whenever there's music playing, like the old days.
I just wanna be where I feel free.
A group came together creating a release. Through organizing the first performance in the theater in over 50 years.
It didn't just feel, it inspired.
With Scott T. Smith, its premier
There was
performer.
this moment where I realized not a single person was distracted by anything outside these walls.
There was so much energy afterwards that people want more, and people who weren't there wanted to be there and want us to do it again. So we have birthed something in this space that will hopefully grow.
The theater is 110 years old. The once around 900 seats sat audiences for vaudeville performances. It transitioned to silent movies and traditional movies as the years went on, says Gary Folk.
The theater experience was to give the average person a feel or a sense of opulence.
That light is still seen in these walls, a place where people stop,
Got its hands on me.
enjoy, and find freedom. Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 Night Team, on your side.
Well, big congrats there to Sam Heine and his group there. They love Louisville's history, as you can tell, and they are planning another performance in December, and they hope to connect with Smoketown for future performances. You can find more details, by the way, on our website at WHAS11.com. But right here next on the night team, how U of L Pediatrics is bringing smiles to Kentuckiana's sick kids.
And here's a check of today's Kentucky Lottery jackpots. Mega Millions, $60 million. Powerball, $629 million.
The Kentucky Lottery, funding education for over 1 million Kentucky students.